If deployment scripts that are run in production aren't accurate, then that can lead to disruption or even downtime in production. DBAs need to have the confidence that the deployment script that is built accurately reflects the changes that were intended to come from development. And they'll often also need rollback scripts so that should something go wrong, they can return the database schema back to its original state. Now, where this is becoming more challenging is as more companies move towards a desire to follow continuous deployment, the need to have accurate deployment scripts will be even more essential, as those deployment scripts need to accurately reflect a particular build. So in Toad Xpert Edition, you have the ability to compare and synchronize two schemas. And there's actually two features here. One is a regular compare schema and sync, and the other one, which is relatively recent, is compare multiple schemas and sync. The compare multiple schemas and sync is particularly useful for DBAs that have to keep multiple schemas across two databases as accurate as possible. So they might have 100 different schemas in production that they need to keep in sync with the same schemas on a test database. And so even using a compare schema and sync, it's still time consuming because they have to repeat that operation. With compare multiple schemas, they can do this synchronously. So here's Toad again, and I've opened the schema compare. That's accessed through database compare schemas. And you can see multiple schemas immediately below. In the compare schemas window, you see the three sections. The top section is the source schema name. It's using a default connection, and then it's giving me a drop-down list to select a source schema. In the middle section, you can see target schemas and output, and I can select one or more target schema names. I'm using live connection, so here I've got the same connection, but I've selected the Quest dev schema because I want to compare production with development. The lower panel allows me to also compare using snapshot files. Now, a Toad snapshot file is a saved file that represents a schema in a certain state at a date and time. And I can persist those schema states in these snapshot files so I can reuse them over again. So if I wanted to compare the current state of the production schema, I might have had a snapshot file which represents that against a live database connection. And that will allow me to compare accordingly. I then have an options tab which lets me decide which types of objects I want to compare and various other options. And then when I'm done, I hit the run button and the comparison will begin. And then the results tab is where I'll see the differences, which objects exist in one schema, not the other one, and so forth. And then if I leave all the check marks on as they are, it will build a synchronization script which represents how those changes should be applied to the target database. And this is actually the script I would give to a DBA. And it's 100% accurate. It reflects all the changes because it's done a live comparison.